Welcome to Worldwide Business. I'm Kathy Ireland. Being a good negotiator in a business setting is not a gift that only some people are born with. It's a skill that can be taught to anyone. Mobus Creative Negotiating is a leader in negotiation training for major corporations. They use modern interactive techniques to help personnel get better results. CEO Frank Mobus is here to fill us in. Welcome, Frank.
Hi, Kathy.
Frank, can you please talk about some of the challenges people face when negotiating in a business setting?
Well, Kathy, the main challenge people have is that negotiating is one of the hardest things they're asked to do in business because it requires so many different, really difficult kind of skills that you have to be a pretty good debater. You have to be able to think fast and think on your feet. You've got to be analytical so you can keep track of what's going on. And that's not even the hardest part of it. The hardest part is that it involves a lot of conflict. And because of conflict, which most people are very uncomfortable with, they tend to feel anxious about it, they get stressed out. And it's why when people go into the negotiation, the main objective often is, let's just get this deal over and done with, rather than pushing on to make a better deal. So negotiating involves a complexity of really difficult skills. You have to be a pretty good debater. You have to be analytical so you can understand what's going on because there's all kind of numbers that are flying around. Just keeping that straight is not easy. You've got to be able to think fast and think on your feet. And that's not even the most difficult part of it. The biggest challenge is that negotiating involves conflict. When you and I are negotiating, there's some point of disagreement, and sometimes it gets very contentious. You're sitting there, sometimes I'm sitting in on a negotiation, and I can almost see perceptibly the tension level rising. You can see people get frustrated, you can see them get anxious about the whole thing, and because of that, very often the main goal becomes not what's the best deal I can get, but how can I get this thing over with as quickly as possible? And because of that, people don't push hard enough and they end up leaving money on the table. For companies, a big part of their success in the marketplace has to do with the strength of the people that are negotiating these contracts for the organization.